to save on car insurance? Quote and complete your purchase online to get extra savings with TD Insurance.
Right.
Sun is rising. It happens in the morning sometimes.
Stunning.
Good Wednesday morning. We're going 5 wide. Great to see you, Steph, Dina, myself, Devo. The whole family's back together.
And Tam, who's right there.
Tam's right there.
Tam's reading it out. She's like, okay. Tam, you're the best.
And you know what? Toronto is the greatest city in the world.
Hey! Oh, Bob, what's the what?
Except if you're commuting.
There we go.
As Steph and Tam talked about earlier. This comes from Move It. It's a report from Move It.
I like to move it.
You know you want to do that. I know, we had to. You would like to move it. Okay.
Unless you're commuting. We are right behind Washington, Chicago, and New York for longest commute times in the world. We spend 56 minutes to get from point A to point B. Frank, your general thoughts here. How do we fix, simple questions, how do we fix our transit? And how do we improve people's commute here? That's unacceptable for a city of this quality.
And if you look, during the pandemic, so many people moved out of the city because they thought they could not, they can work remotely. A lot of people wanted to get away. Now what you're going to see is probably more people moving in. I heard yesterday Mike Epple say condo prices will actually go on the rise, even though they're thinking that there might be a bubble out there. People got to move closer to work, and then maybe we get into that hybrid model a little bit more. We need more employers to adopt that. I see some resistance happening right now.
You're right.
The city's really spread out, though. Like, we have a big city that's spread out over a large geographical area, and now I think they're going to be building up instead of out. So you're going to see more high-rise.
For sure. Devo?
There's a lot of pockets in this city, right? And I would say, you kind of stick to your pocket. So if you live in the east end of downtown, you stay there. You live in the Junction, you live in Ronces, you live uptown. You kind of stay in your area because of that
traffic,
that situation, that traffic. I just was in London, and you can get around that major city, New York. You can get around. I love our city, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We are not world class until our transit becomes world class.
Yeah, Disney World moves people better than what Toronto does. It really does. They have better transit in Disney World. They do a really good job.
Around there, it's a small world after all.
It is. And not taking anything away from the hard-working people in our transit system. There's a lot of people that work very, very hard.
They can't.
But they're limited. Like, we can only do so much. They're working hard just to get you from point A to point B in 56 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, and to Devo's point, London, they call it the Tube. It literally looks like a bowl of spaghetti noodles. I remember being down there with my sister. We're like, where'd we go? I didn't even know how to navigate it. Yes, but then there's also a lot more ways to get into the city. So if you look at that list, New York City, you hear about the tunnel all the time, traffic. Washington, I've never been to. Chicago, I've been once, and it's that same sort of thing. There's not a lot of big arteries, so if you're driving a car, good luck. And if you're taking transit, it's not developed enough here either. And I think that's our problem, is those two major points, which slow you down whether you're driving or whether you're trying to take a subway or a bus.
I'm surprised Vancouver's not on the list. Because Vancouver's a difficult city.
It is.
And they're spread out.
And also there's not really big highways that are there. So it's a little harder to get around in Vancouver.
Steph, final word. I know you talked about this earlier already, but anything you want to add?
I really think it's the infrastructure. And like Devo said, we need world-class transit to be a world-class city, and we're just not there. And it's going to take a lot of money, to fix something that we've already built up so much around, right? So it's going to be really tough. And me and you, we live outside of the city, so we drive in.
Yeah.
And that's always going to be right now. That's always my choice.
I don't have an option. I don't have life.
But even I know you and I normally don't have a choice. But even for a J game on the weekend, I can take the go in. Sometimes I don't feel like it. And even on the weekend, there's not a ton of delays. Go does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But it's just and maybe because out in Mississauga it's a little different in terms of a car is a good thing if you're a young person. Sometimes out in the sticks a little bit. But you're right though in terms of this being a world-class city. Look, we have a World Cup coming to Toronto in the not too distant future.
You need.
Oh yeah.
We got to clean some stuff up here because people are going to look around going, I know in Qatar there's 3 stadiums within 8 blocks of each other, or so it is.
Right.
Here it's going to be a little different anyway. I don't know how we fix it, but it was good to talk about it. I'll tell you that.
To vent a little.
But still, you know what? In terms of everything else, Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto. Let's go.
Shout out to the TPC workers.
Yes, TTC
and the GO
workers.
Transit workers.
You're busting
shout
your
out to
ox.
everybody.
I like to move it,
I
move
think
it.
we can.
Okay,
I like
East
to
End.
move it.
You know the Ontario line. They're working on that. And the East End, I know we got to wrap up here, but they've started building the infrastructure down by the distillery. They've already started building that station.
Yep.
So they're working hard. They're working quickly. So shouts to everybody. We know you're trying.
Yep.
But you only you
Just
got the
try harder.
resources that you got.
All right, we're going to take a break. Again, we're going to try and give away 5,000 later with Devo, and I Wake Up with BT. Coming up next with Tam, an important conversation, safety in our schools. It is a huge topic. It is a gorgeous sunrise in the city. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, more BT after this.
Tomorrow's not going to look like that.
Wow, Frankie, don't.
May your days